That was a hard one. I thought we could have a better accounting of how we played. We didn't, and we are looking ahead. Now then, we've got a hole, and we all understand it. Regret that again for our fans. Good guys.
Jerry, what devastates you most about this home losing streak of 6 games?
Well, I don't know that there's anything but the obvious, and that is that we just aren't playing very well. Happens we're doing that at home for sure. We've had a big run of home games that we haven't done it. So we just aren't playing well, and it's several things out there for all the games, several things. And so, it's not really the amount of the score at home. It's not really. It's just the way we're playing.
Jerry, what happened with the move before the game?
You had wind gusts a lot all day long, and wind apparently did a little damage. And then when we tried to open it up, the winds got underneath the roof at that time, and so everybody agreed that it did some damage. But if you check around, Dallas had wind gusts all afternoon. I think they call them wind bursts or something like that. But those it's the kind of thing that ended up causing that damage, apparent damage, and we were aware of it when we were opening the door a few hours before the game, and had planned the minute we saw that not to open the door, not to open the roof.
Will it impact the ability to use the roof going forward? Is the damage that happens?
No, it's fixable, but you didn't have, it wasn't the situation, time or otherwise to do it tonight, and certainly there was no risk at all to anybody on the field playing once we shut the roof. And again, we've got a lot of wind gusts in this area this afternoon, and apparently that created some looseness up there. And then when we did try to open it up, the wind got in there and exacerbated the looseness.
Jerry, what did you make
that all
of that?
happen? Does it make you somewhat think, like, can anything go right this season?
Not really. I don't look at it. I look at it in whole, and we're just not playing well enough to beat teams, and it's combinations of things, and we just know that you've got to do better with that. We had know we're getting some guys back, but we lost some more tonight. But other teams lose players. That's part of the NFL, and so I don't want to look to that. I did thought Rush played better tonight.
Jerry, what do you make looking out at the crowd tonight and hearing a pretty large Houston contingent?
Well, I've always Houston's close to Dallas, and so the fact that we do have a lot of times visiting teams buy tickets that are in our stadium, and so it's not uncommon. We have a lot of San Francisco fans when we play San Francisco here, so it's not uncommon to see our fans sell tickets for particular games. A lot of times that's done way before the season starts.
Do you see any areas of improvement over these past 4 or 5 games at home?
I thought Rush played a little better tonight, frankly. And I know we were trying to get the ball to CD, and we did that to some degree. I thought we were in the game. Certainly the fake punt was red again and took a little wind out of us, but we were trying to get wind, and had it worked, then it would have been an inspiration, and we had maybe a better drive out of it. But trying a lot of things out there to move the needle.
Jerry, at 3-7, do you still have hope that the season could turn around?
Well, that's 10 games, and certainly the numbers are coming to us, and certainly we have to be realistic about how we're playing. We have to be realistic what we're dealing with at quarterback, what we're dealing with, and we have to calculate that in the look-see ahead. I think we've got help on the way on defense, but the guys that were out there tonight did some good things, but they made some real mistakes. So all of that. Let's give credit. Houston's a team that had its challenges lately and came in here, and I thought we were hanging in there, not hanging, but in there pretty good, and had a real chance to gain on it and have some momentum. Didn't happen for us.
Even though Cooper played better, is there some point you would like to see Trey Lance start and play some?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I want to give our team the very best chance it can to, in all phases, be successful. And so we're going to go here with a quarterback that gives us the best chance to win the game. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
That rush right now.
Well, we just got off the field, but we'll make that decision. Got to make it real quick, though, this week.
What did you think about taking those points off the board at that point?
Well, after we missed the field goal to come back, I wish we'd kept them up there, and wish we hadn't have gotten the break that we got. But I think everybody did. But for a shame to take a field goal that impactful or that good length and all included with it, but we did. We were trying to score 7 or 8, and so we took them off.
And then what about later on in that drive on the 4th and 2 to go for it there on that rollout with Rush? What did you think of that?
Well, again, at the time, I'm sure they're going to go into why we thought that play was the best play at the time, and we all knew what that touchdown meant to us, and I don't sit in here second guess that. We'll take a look at it tomorrow and look into those kinds of things. But the noteworthy is to be trying to gain momentum with some of our fake punt stuff, and then when it backfires on you, lose a little momentum too. And I think that's what happens. But that's what happens when you try to take those kinds of risks.
Did you feel like that was too desperate?
Excuse me?
Do you feel like that fake punt was too desperate at that time?
I don't know, but when you don't do it, it feels desperate. But I don't know that too. We were close enough there, but we were also close enough to keep it close. And so, that's part of what we do is say, boy, I'd have run it or I'd have thrown it on that. And so we've got some good people that really know this game well and have got a good feel for how the team and the personnel is out there. I'm good with those.
The body language on the sideline is understandably rough, but a lot of guys seem to be pretty down. Is there anything you can do to try and buoy spirits?
No, but you wouldn't be human if you get out there and you're not playing well, you as an individual or you as a team, and then you're also playing against people that are playing a lot better than you are. And I think it's real rare when somebody looks like they've just cleaned the bases out with a grand slam home run or something. No, I understand body language, but that's part of it. We have to gather it back up and go out there and play.
You said there wasn't any risk when that sheet metal came down. Is that what I heard you say? You didn't think it was a risk?
I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that because I don't know who was there. I know we did it. We opened and shut the door long before any fans or anybody's in here. I think it's 4 hours before. And the reason they do that is to make sure everything is working and to avoid those kinds of risks if there's any fans or anybody in here. So that's what happened, and it worked. And it told us to basically probably don't open the door. But the piece apparently was loose from the heavy winds that were out here all day during the time. And there were reports of serious winds all over this area during the day. And I don't know, and it hadn't had an evaluation as of right now, but it'll take a look at it. But, we open and shut those roofs and doors, and we do that several times throughout the week before we get to a point where we're actually going to use them with any fans or anybody around that are impacted by it.
Have you or the organization heard from any of the people that did have to kind of scurry out of the way of the piece of sheet metal that fell?
No. Now, you realize it fell 2 hours before the game? 3? I don't know. how long it took.
Before, yeah.
But it fell hours before the game, and we have very good procedures relative to who could be impacted when we open the doors or when we open the roof. That's standard operating procedure. But I'll tell you right now, what you had was a lot of heavy winds in this area during the day, and apparently right about the time we opened it, as well as before it, winds had compromised part of the roof. And then when we opened it, well, it had that piece, the wind took it and got under it. Had a kind of a rush of it, and a piece, it's described to me, got under it. But rest assured, all of that kind of stuff is done out of the way of any fan or customer or anybody like that. Those people that are standing around are working the problem.
You had that other piece that was stuck up there. Was there any concern that the game might be delayed before you could get that piece bolted
They wouldn't have
down?
started, I'm sorry, they wouldn't have done this game or started this game had there been any risk at all. And not only the NFL wouldn't, but I would, if there was any risk at all. And there was no risk at all when we started the game.
You said you might be getting defensive reinforcements back. Who are you talking about specifically?
Well, again, I want to be sure and see how they have practiced early part of this week. But it's the usual guys you've got on, and bring them forward and make them active with the list that you see there, and make them forward with. And there are quite a few of them, especially on defense.
Jerry, I know philosophically you've never been a fan of making coaching changes during the year, but we've seen a couple of teams do that this year. Do you ever see any wisdom in a change of voices in there coming from the top?
Well, I have made a change, and I've made a change early and on a coach with Chan Gailey, and I've always regretted that. And I've made a change during the season, and I've regretted that. And so that's the music I'm listening to.
But given some of the time that Mike's already had here in Dallas, do you feel like the voice is falling on deaf ears to some extent?
What voice?
Do you feel like he's lost the locker room at all?
Well, let's not say so. That lost the locker room. I remember John Madden and Al Davis called me after we won one game the very first year, and he said, well, at least you didn't lose the team or the locker room. I said, well, what's that? How do you lose a team? You misplace them on the road or what? And I'm not trying to be cute here, but they say, well, you didn't lose it. Well, I can tell you in there right now with kind of careers a bunch of those guys have, kind of the prospects of their futures, the competitors they are. I don't worry 1 ounce about losing anything as far as in the family of losing a team. Now, can they be a part of a team that doesn't execute, doesn't win, and that be disappointing them and our fans and everybody else? Yes, that can happen. But that doesn't mean that they don't go out, execute, be ready to go. We've got a short week Thanksgiving, and every one of them will step out there and do it. I don't know. I'll go around that locker room. I don't know of anybody in there that hadn't had it really hard times and really been down. That goes with this game, and so I don't worry about quote. I worry a lot about execution, or I worry a lot about communication in the line, and I worry a lot about having two people in the same spot on routes. I worry a lot about all that stuff. But guys giving the effort out.
But respectfully, some of these things haven't changed, and so does that show a respect, or that you're listening to the voices? I mean, we're still seeing 12 men on the field. We're seeing the penalties. We're seeing a lack of tackling.
What's respectful or not respectful about that? That's not being respectful or not respectful, or it's not disrespect to have more guys on the field, or jumping off sides, or getting a late hit. That's disrespectful, or disrespect has no place in that. And I'm not taking issue with it. I'm not
No, I hear
upset
you.
about
It's just- I'm
it.
saying
It's just a
effort
bad
for the
way.
coach. Okay.
It's just not what you would talk about. Now, if you would prepare those kinds of things, all of those things, or you do something about them. But you don't need to worry about anybody in that locker room giving everything they've got and more, and how bad they feel when they get beat on a play or get beat in a quarter or the whole game at all.
I don't
I
question
don't
that.
ever worry about that. Now, you did question it, and I'm just giving you the answer.
What about fan apathy? Does that have any effect on the players or even yourself?
No, it makes you want to show them. Makes you want to do right and please them or show them. My biggest motivator is showing them when it looks like we can't. That's really motivation. So I think the makeup of a player wants to competitively show. Now, I see players get in the dumps when they are injured. That's the biggest time that I see somebody have to really call on themselves psychologically and work through it. And first thing, you start off with how lucky they are to begin with, and they've been blessed with all that gifts, and they've worked hard, and so they count all their blessings. They look over and see their family and see their loved ones. Everybody looks around. There's a way to handle when it's not going against you. These guys are good at it in there. Most guys I know that are accomplished in professional sports are really good at counting their blessings and going back to work.
Appreciate your response.
Thank you.
What kind of
Thank you.
improvement have you seen from Trey Lance since you got here last August a year ago?
Oh, I've seen a lot of improvement, and I think he does some things really outstanding. I think his footwork is noticeably better, and so I see the value of the reps that he's had. So I'm seeing improvement there.
I understand why you don't want to play him now, but would you like to see him before the end of the year, just considering he's going to be a free agent? You gave up the 4th-round pick just to see what he can do in some real games.
Yeah, I think our best chance is to have Rush in here,
Okay.
and the goal is to win the game. Yeah.